This film also had the creepiest Santa. And you could,
Oh my god, yes!
I'll pick Andrew Garfield. Peter 3.
Peter 3. I believe I put that on.
Ooh, that comic book filter.
This green ball.
This green tennis ball is Vecna, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I know what you're talking about.
A quick refreshment. Oh god.
You got lemonade in there?
Strawberry lemonade flavored Crystal Light.
Oh, I was gonna say it looks like lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried the poppy, sodas that are? There's a strawberry lemonade one.
I don't think so, actually.
They're really good.
Mm.
If you ever come across one, get the strawberry lemonade one.
Poppy.
Yeah, poppy.
Poppy.
Poppi. It looks like it says poopy. That's what I thought it said when I first bought one. I
Payday.
was like, poopy. Poopy.
Is it like a sparkling water drink?
It is,
or-
yeah.
Sorry, cinema peeps. We're thinking of better times because the storm is here and we're just like
Yep.
cold. I was like, I just want to be somewhere nice and warm, a
Right?
perfect temperature with a nice bevy. Like,
Right?
Mm.
Oh, I wish.
But no, fucking snow.
Yep.
Fucking snow. But we do have some updates on the Oscar film front.
Yes, we do.
2 down, baby. Pew, 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 pew. So today we'll be talking about One Battle After Another and Thin Earth. Let's start with One Battle After Another.
Sure.
I will say I enjoyed your snap. The pasta looked fantastic. I feel like it was probably the best way to watch that movie, with a nice big bowl of pasta.
Right? I'm glad I did
So
end up.
yummy.
I'm glad I sat there and ate my supper with it too, because I felt like I spent more time focusing on and enjoying my supper than I did the movie.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, going into it, I kind of was like, unless it's like gonna blow me out of the water, I didn't have high hopes, I'll be honest. I think the title alone kind of sums it up, you know? Like, there's one battle after another, you know?
Oh,
like,
quite literally, yeah.
there is corruption everywhere. There are people who always will stand up to it, but
Yeah.
you could win one battle, but there's
always
still
gonna be
another
another.
fucking one.
Yeah.
So I found that slightly ironic, but, you know. But yeah, the movie's about a a group of freedom fighters.
Yeah,
You
a group
open
of
up on them.
revolutionists.
Yeah. So you kind of meet the main characters of the film through that. Leonardo DiCaprio and his boo. And who I did not realize was Sean Penn for like half the movie.
Oh, really?
I was like, what? That's Sean Penn? I was like,
Yep.
Jesus.
I know.
I was
Creepy
like,
motherfucker.
took the words right out of my mouth. I was like, God damn.
You find out that Sean Penn's got a weird, obsession with the main actress.
Weird.
Which, yeah, that alone, I almost, dipped out of the film just watching that. I was like, if this is what this is gonna be like, I'm out, man. Sorry. I don't do creepy, weird shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, continue.
But yeah, she ends up getting pregnant. So, of course, Leo DiCaprio's character is like, hey, we need to focus on baby now. And she's like, no, we must keep fighting the revolution. And the one thing I wasn't super clear on is one of their last heists they do together. I don't know if he was present. I think he was. Unclear. There was a lot of action things happening. But they end up getting caught. So a big bunch of their group gets caught. Some people are able to flee. But she gets caught and basically makes a plea deal to get immunity by selling out her other revolutionary friends. So then you watch them all die. But luckily, Leo, the baby, and a couple other people were able to escape. So the movie picks up, I think they said about 15 or 16 years later, where now the baby is a grown teenager and you're seeing their life post the revolutionary fights.
Yeah, Leo's character is kind of distanced himself from that and clearly numbed himself out with a lot of drugs and alcohol and just he's now become a very paranoid recluse.
And basically Sean Penn's character is greeted into the Christmas society of other creepy white men. But yeah, so basically he goes after her and then poor drugged out Leo has to save his daughter.
Yeah.
I will say I did enjoy the whole sequence where like they call him to let him know like, hey, you've been compromised.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he cannot remember any of the spy codes whatsoever.
And he's like, can't you please just like give me a break? It's been so long. I cannot remember.
I can't believe he didn't memorize it. And he's like, dude, I've done so many drugs.
Yeah.
I've done so many drugs.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, what's the time? So I enjoyed that whole sequence. I thought it was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I liked all the moving parts, but yeah, for me, it was just like, I was like, it's okay. I remember like, my mom had E-Talk on and they were like really hyping up this movie.
Yeah, everybody, when it came out, I mean, again, I chalked up half of the hype being because it was Paul Thomas Anderson, and for some reason, again, personal preference, don't come at me, people, but like, usually when a Paul Thomas Anderson movie comes out, everybody's like, oh my god, it's the best thing ever! And I'm like, okay, no, it's not my cup of tea, but, which is why I was telling you in the Snapchat, I'm like, why does everybody say, because even in the reviews I was reading too, they're like, oh my god, it's a cinematic masterpiece, and I'm like, but there's nothing really cinematic about it. Like, to me, there was no artistic choices made. It was all action. It was all one shot, very, like, fast paced. So there was that. But, like, as far as, like, artistic cinematic choices, I was like, I don't see it.
I guess I was also a little confused because there's a conversation Leo has with baby mama's, I think it's the grandmother. And basically they were like, she's a free spirit runner and you're a stump. So I was like, is that gonna, like, I don't know. Was that supposed to play in somehow? Because to me, I thought Leo, like, the second he heard his daughter was in trouble, like, he did everything to get to her. So, like, was it just they underestimated him? Or, like I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. But I was like, maybe he will have some growth of some kind. I don't know.
Yeah.
But instead, I think he did what every parent would do in that situation, is he did his best to find his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I said, I don't know. Like the title, like I just kind of figured, one battle after another.
Yeah,
quite
literally.
So like, I don't know.
Right? So I'm curious to know, like, because I know we were saying in our predictions that we were thinking that movie might be one of the ones that sweeps a lot of awards. But now having seen it, again...
I take it back.
I'm like,
I take it back.
It's not my pick, that's for sure, but something tells me there's probably going to be some people who see it differently. I'm going to be like, oh god, if this is the movie that wins Best Picture this year, oh lord. What are we in store for?
Right. But let's move on to something a little better.
Yes.
Sinners.
Oh, so I'm so glad I decided to watch it after. Like, literally, I watched both movies in the same night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not. I'm not going to lie. I watched that movie in the afternoon when the light was on. Just in case, just in case. But to be fair, I don't think it's as scary as I thought it was going to be.
No.
And this is from a scaredy cat, I would almost say, I wouldn't say it's a horror film. Because on Crave, it's listed as horror thriller. I'm like, thriller for sure.
Thriller for sure, yeah.
Like, horror, like, I guess just because there's vampires involved.
Yeah.
But, like, to me, I'm like, I don't know, that's a weak. I think it should be thriller first, then maybe horror second.
Or thriller with horror elements.
It's not much of a very catchy title, but, like, that's what I think. That's what I think, anyway. They did that classic, they show a part at the end of the movie, at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it hooked me right in, because they're like one day late. I'm like, 1 day?
Right?
I feel like most of the time they're like 1 week or something like that, but no, 1 day. I'm like, shit went wrong in 1 day. I'm like, all right, let's fucking go.
And already off the cuff, like, I was literally like shouting at the TV off the cuff. I'm like, see, this is cinematic. This is artistic. This is what I would call a cinematic experience, not what I just watched.
I think Stella also liked Sinners a little bit better. There was a little more action happening more of the time, so she was very happy to watch it. But yeah, you meet the I was gonna say Stock, Lock, and Two Smoking Barrels. No, you meet
Smokestack twins.
Yes, they have come back after, I guess, 6 years of being away, and they want to open up a juke bar just for them.
Yep.
At the very opening, where they buy it from a white man who you find out later turns out to be a Ku Klux Klan member, because this film happens in No, 1932, I think. Who has his own plans, but that's a little later in the film.
But didn't he lie to them too? Like, didn't they question him and said we don't want?
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, oh no.
He 100% lied. But anyways, you kind of see them going around town. You start meeting all the characters who we're going to, meet on this fateful night. And then everyone comes together to a once in a lifetime magical night.
Well, the other main character that they end up picking up is their cousin, Sammy,
Yes.
who is a gifted blues guitar player, and he borrows the guitar from his dad at the church, which he kind of finds out that the guitar was gifted to them by the twins.
Yes.
And the one twin says that it was a very famous blues player's guitar.
That they won in a game.
And so he was like all excited about it and just like, yeah, playing with the guitar. And then you find out at the end of the movie that he actually lied, and it was the twins' dad's guitar.
Yes, who I guess had a very strained relationship with his brother, who is the priest, who is Sammy's father, who is the priest of the chapel.
Yes.
The preacher's son. But yeah, I don't know. I really liked it. I liked the build up. I liked meeting everybody. And yeah, and I liked like all the horror elements, as you put it, were always like off camera or like off to the side. Because obviously he didn't want to focus too much on that. But like, I thought it was really good.
It was the suspense was really good. It built the suspense up really well. The pacing was awesome. I went into it completely blind. Like, I did not know what the story was about at all.
I unfortunately knew bits of the story because my brother's big mouth just started talking, and I was like, all right.
But yeah,
so I knew little bits of it, but luckily I was able to tune a little bit of it out. I was
good.
Like,
Yeah. All I knew was that Michael B. Jordan was playing twins, and that there was some kind of horror aspect, and it was kind of sort of like a Western / period piece sort of thing. So yeah, I went in not knowing that there was going to be vampires, and I felt like the pacing reminded me very much of like a Supernatural episode. And in fact, there is a Supernatural episode that is very similar to this movie.
Oh, okay.
And it's called The Crossroad Blues. And I ended up having to research it afterwards because I was like seeing the story, like especially following like Sammy, like the character of Sammy. And I'm like, this guy reminds me so much of like Robert Johnson. And Robert Johnson's this like very famous blues guitarist. And the lore behind his story was that he sold his soul to the devil, and the devil gave him the ability to play the blues. And so, because like when you look at all of his songs, like they're like Hellhound on My Tail, like Crossroad Blues, like he has a lot of very like supernatural kind of spooky songs. And so that's the lore behind, or the legend behind Robert Johnson. And so I was like, I gotta see if there was any inspiration for this character from him, and it was in fact inspired by Robert Johnson. So I was like, this is so cool. And they did do an episode of it on Supernatural. So yeah,
I also was wondering because like there was kind of like an end credit scene at the end with Sammy.
Yeah,
so that's why I was like, is he supposed to be a person? So that's cool to know. That's really cool to know,
right? Yeah.
But yeah, the vampires fucking, they tickled me pink. He like enslaves like his first 2 victims. And they have like the corniest fucking band, and they come up to this jukebox. I'm like, "Where you want to play me?" I was like, "Do." I was like, "Hey, you're lucky the other 2 can sing and play."
Yeah.
But obviously there's some weird shared consciousness thing, so probably they actually don't know
like,
how
is that
to
just
play.
something that's just one of the powers that you inherit when you become a vampire?
Right. I will say I did like the eyes.
Yes, me too.
Especially in like the big dance scene, like you could just see like the little white dots just like floating in the background as people were like moving.
Yeah,
I thought that was so cool.
There's
again, it wasn't like anything like too big and grand.
No, but there is a horror movie. And I should know this, but I'm gonna forget. It's either The Lost Boys or Fright Night, or one of those vampire movies where they did the reflective eye thing, and it was such a cool effect for that time. It like just in that era. And so I feel like, again, because I was reading some of the trivia about the director, and he said he was very inspired by, like, The Faculty and, like, From Dusk Till Dawn, like, those types of vampire movies. And I'm like, oh, yeah, totally, I can see that. But I'm wondering if he did a similar effect, or if that was just, like, a nod to that effect. Because, yeah, that, like, that whole glowing eye thing is just so cool.
Which was I liked it. It was very effective. But, yeah, the night just goes off the railings very quickly. It was so funny. Like, it was funny because, like, basically, Haley Steinfeld's character goes out to kind of suss out these people. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, she wants to know what their intentions are. She
gets a bad vibe, so she leaves, but immediately she turns her back, and I was like, girlfriend!
I know!
So, of course, you just see him, like, levitate in the background.
In the air. Yeah.
And then you see her again coming back into the barn where she's like, are you gonna let me in? And I'm like...
I love that they did that too. Like, that's such a classic vampire trope, and I'm like, oh yes.
But then because she's in love with
Smoke.
Smoke.
Yeah.
She's in love with Smoke.
One of the twins.
So they're doing it, and then she turns him into a vampire. Well, first she bites him, and they think he's dead. So then they're like, okay, everyone, party's over. Everybody leave. I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes! For fuck's sakes!
Bring the dead outside!
I'm like, you bunch of idiots. But yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
The music was great. I love the whole scene where Sammy is playing, and then, as they said, like, could tap into, like, all the other, like, ancestral music, but then, like, come, like, all the modern music,
yeah, like they had,
blended
like, the electric guitar, they had, like, the hip-hop, and,
yeah,
like, it was kind of, at first I'm like, what are we doing here? But I was, like, engaged with it. I'm like, okay, well, like, where's this going?
It was really cool. And obviously now supposedly that is why the vampires were attracted to come in the first place, because the vampire has a very sad, pathetic story of, like, I want to tap into, like, my ancestors, so I want Sammy.
Yeah.
So, of course, he blames himself for a good chunk of the film. I was really sad that, I mean, Sammy gets to live, but everybody ends up getting cooked. I felt so bad for the Asian couple that ran the grocery stores.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that, again, that scene was so good, because he's like, honey, I have the car, come out. They kick out a guy who they thought is a vampire, but it turns out he was just drunk.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Felt really bad for him, too, but he's getting mauled by one of the guys. And, of course, it's happening, and her husband's like, oh, aren't you gonna come? And she's kind of like...
She's like, are you not seeing what's going on over here? And he's like, he's just hungry.
It's all fine. And you're like, ugh. And then they're like, oh, I can see the memories. And so she's like, oh my God, my daughter. So I thought it was really badass. Like, she's like, come on in, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And then, like, sends a Molotov cocktail. And literally, as she's on fire, is stabbing her husband with a stake.
Yeah. I was like,
that's
just
fucking...
watching them, like, both burn up. I'm like, oh my God, their poor daughter. Like,
I felt bad, but I was also like, what a fucking badass.
Yeah, yeah.
My God.
And that whole scene, too, like, before they come into the barn of, like, all of them dancing outside and him, like, doing the jig and everything.
That's what
like,
made me think of the eyes.
Yeah,
I was like, so good.
Yeah, it was
I also like the garlic scene. It was very funny.
Yeah.
She's like, I really don't like garlic. You will eat the garlic.
Eat it.
And then, oh God, who was the old drunk guy? He was also one of my favorite characters.
Oh,
I
yeah,
liked
Delta
him a lot.
Slim. Yeah.
He's like, oh my God! And he's like, nah, I'm just really fucking drunk.
Right? No, they did good at, like, building suspense that way, because that could have easily been so corny, and maybe it was for some people, but, like, it was enough to be like, oh no, it's like, is he actually a vampire? No, he's just choking on garlic. Okay.
Again, sorry. I know we're going over the place, because they had just kicked out the drunk guy who they thought was a vampire. So that's why they're getting everyone to eat the garlic.
Which, I'm glad that they all, well, I mean, of course they're going to explain it, because at first when she tossed the jar of garlic at him, I thought it was holy water, and I was like, where did she get holy water from?
I also was just like, her character just has that vibe. I was like, yeah, she probably has holy water and, like, other anemones on her. Like, she Gucci.
Yeah.
Poor Annie. I did feel bad that, Stack, he ends up staying after, they somehow live the night, which is incredible, but a lot of sacrifices were made, but Sammy ends up living. He breaks the guitar over the guy's head. Badass. But then Michael Jordan's twin character stabs him in the back. And of course, I'm seeing everyone burning, and I'm so dumb some days. I was like, where's Haley Steinfeld? But anyways, there was apparently a quick thought in my brain. But then Stack stays behind because, again, the vampires have informed him that the Ku Klux Klan is coming to murder them anyway. So he's like, just join us. Like, we could, like, fuck them up.
Yeah.
And to that, I would have said, well, if they're coming in the morning and you die by sunlight, you're all fucking useless.
Yeah.
You tools. But he has a big show off. They all come, and he gets this big-ass gun, and he just fucking rips them. I knew he was going to die.
Chain style.
So I did feel bad, but I was like, he took a stand, and he gets to be with his love, so I guess that's good. And, of course, we're now caught up to the scene with Sammy in the church, all covered in blood with half a broken guitar, where his dad's like, you have to let go of that music. But he's like, nope, I can't let go of it. It's my connection to my people and all the memories of all those fallen people. I can't let it go. So then he drives off, and you think the movie ends, but then you see
an end credit scene.
Yeah, in the 90s.
Yeah,
where,
and
of course,
they showed like some clips of like the modern day blues concert and stuff. Yeah.
But then it cuts to him trying to enjoy a drink, and they're like, hey, there's these two people who want to come inside. Should I let them in? And I was like...
You're like, oh no!
And of course, there's Haley Steinfeld and actually the other twin. Because again, I had the forethought for like 1 second to be like, oh, where is she? You know? And I guess I should have had the same thought for his character, because they don't actually show him stabbing his brother. So I was like, oh, so they both got to live, I guess.
Both away.
But I guess, I don't know how they're living. I guess they're doing fine. But yeah, because apparently he said, his brother said you're allowed to live if you leave Sammy alone. Now I'm wondering, because again, they were all sharing the same consciousness with the Irish vampire, but maybe once he was gone, maybe they kind of had their own consciousness again. Like, I don't know. I don't know how vampires work.
They mentioned something about, very briefly, they mentioned something about even if the original vampire has died, it still lives on with the living ones. Like, they carry it on kind of thing. Like, they carry the torch with them or whatever. So I think that had something to do with it.
I just kind of assumed that means you just couldn't, like, because I know the question they were asking very early on, because he wanted to save his brother, being like, oh, if I kill the main vampire, will that set him free? And they're like, no. So that's how I interpreted it, because I was like, how did they, live so long without coming after him? And it seemed like it was like actually a happy reunion scene with them, and then they just pieced out. They're like, see you later.
Yep.
Bye.
Yep.
So, I don't know, because like he was gone, like they didn't maybe have his influence maybe over them, maybe, but
maybe.
I don't know. And I didn't really think too hard about it. I was just like, nah, all right.
I also like the giant ass ring that he had. Did you see that part when he like slammed his hand down and he had like, it said like Stack or one of their names on it. I was like, wow.
Had some bling ring.
Right?
But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed Sinners. I do hope it does well at the Oscars. But
I hope so too, because it was a very refreshing palate cleanser after one battle after another. So I was very pleasantly surprised, and I like the fact that it's one that I would totally watch again too. Like I would totally watch that on Halloween.
Right? I can't remember because it came out like earlier in the year, didn't it? In 2025.
I feel like it came out in the summertime
or the summer, maybe. Maybe it was like Mayish. Yeah. So that's my only fear, is that maybe it won't do well because it came out later. Just because the Oscars are notorious, it just seems like the films that win the most are the ones that came out later in the year.
Yeah. Oh, April. It came out in April.
Oh, okay. Well, again, I'm still happy it got nominated. It's well deserved. I do hope it does very well,
yes.
But
because, like I said, it was much more cinematic than one battle after another. So I hope it gets some accolades for that for sure, if not anything.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, but
yes.
Yeah, right now it's my top runner.
That is what I am rooting for sure.
Well, I think that'll do it for today's episode. Thanks for watching or listening, however you consume our content.
Off to a good start so far for the Oscar films. I mean, for Sinners at least. But
So, Yeah, I think if Begonia's coming out this week, I'll try to watch Begonia.
You'll have to let me know how that one is, because I don't think I'm going to watch it.
It looks creepy to me.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to try to watch Frankenstein.
Yeah, I think I'm going to watch Frankenstein and F1.
Ooh. But yeah, guys, thanks for listening. If you want to leave a little comment down below, letting us know what if you've watched any of the Oscar picks, if there's any you really like already, let us know. Comments
Which
down
ones
below.
are you rooting for?
Give this video a little like-see and consider subscribing to two pretty cool gals, in my opinion. But anyways, guys, watch all the content, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Monkey.
And...